Hi guys, Paul here, and this is a new product that we've got for review, which is a new mini quad frame, and it was previously known as the Glitch R240, I think it was, during its development phase, and now it's officially being released, and it is the R240 by Avada. And let's get this open and see exactly what you get with this multi-rotor. So this is what you receive in the packaging. We have this little flyer, and what we have is some history about the quad itself, and a little bit about the frame, and some of the highlights, including the fact that it weighs in at just 100 grams. That's the empty frame weight, so it's quite a light frame, and 240 millimeters from motor to motor diagonal, and 170 millimeter width between two motors. And we've also received, looks like a fridge magnet, and also a little sticker. I like that. I love stickers. Anyway, USB, I assume they're all going to come with the USB tool, so that's pretty cool. This is the USB tool that you'll probably use in your flight controller. Most of us will be running with the NAS 32, so this will work beautifully with that. So lots of hardware and the frame, and what I'll do is I'll get these out of the packages and show you exactly what you receive. Okay, so what we have is our standoffs, screws. These will obviously be for your flight controller, I assume. And some more smaller standoffs, obviously dampeners for your camera. And let's see what else we get. But it looks pretty straightforward. We have the thicker bottom plate. That's obviously your top plate. Now these are your two midsections. They will go in like so, and obviously flight controller in the middle. And then what we have is a camera mount, and that will probably go down there like so. And on top, this will be our Mobius camera mount, or I suppose your GoPro, or whatever it is that you're planning on actually using on this airframe. And the arms, nice and thick, strong. I like the cutouts in it just to save a bit of weight. It looks really good. And carbon looks absolutely beautiful on this. So what we'll do is partially get this guy together and actually run through the frame and show exactly what it all looks like. Okay, so this is the frame partially assembled, and before I put the top plate on, I actually want to show you what it looks like with a power distribution board installed, and also the flight controller. Now what we have is these two plates here, and in between what you can see is we've got these are the power distribution board and also the flight controller. Now the configuration of this can change, and I'll touch bases on that shortly. But essentially, the way this frame gets a lot of its strength is through the use of these two plates, and you can basically route your ESCs underneath here, and obviously have your video transmitter on that end, I suppose, and also your control link receiver on top up here, and camera sits obviously in the front. But essentially, it gives you room for routing your wires and keeping the actual build quite neat. Now you don't have to run with the power distribution board if you don't want to. You can do it similar to what we've done with our other frames. But essentially with this configuration, you can actually change it any way you like. You can remove that and run different standoffs, as in different size standoffs. So you could actually not worry about putting the power distribution board in there. And you can also obviously change the position and the layout of these two, depending on what sort of configuration you're going to go with. Now I'll be running my flight controller a little bit lower because of the connectors I use for the servos. I will actually need to drop it, otherwise it'll foul up against this top plate, if you can sort of see what I mean. So, but I had it set up that way just to show you the different types of layout you can actually use this with this frame. So what we'll do is get the rest of it assembled, and we'll touch bases a little bit more on this frame. So this is the final look of the multi-rotor. Keep in mind this multi-rotor is really geared around racing, so it's meant to be really lightweight. Actually, we'll get a weight of it. It's supposed to be around about the 100 gram mark, but it should be a tad over because I actually do have the flight controller in there, and I also have the power distribution, so that'll actually push the weight up. I'll zero that. So we have 115 grams with some of the electronics already in there. So that's not bad. That's a really light frame. I like the fact that from a serviceability aspect, in terms of when you do crash, you can just remove the top plate. You have full access to all your gear. I like the fact that you've got flexibility in terms of whether you want to use a power distribution board or not, and you can have the power distribution mounted lower or in the midsection, or even take this guy higher, or have the flight controller lower, any configuration you want at all. This is probably the sort of layout we're going to go with. That sort of gives you an idea. I like the fact that you have these two plates here, because it allows you to then have some of your wiring ESCs mounted underneath, so it'll neaten a few things up. Have your, say, receiver over here and your video transmitted on top of this plate here, so that's going to work really well. And also, obviously, just having this whole midsection really strengthens this frame up. It's actually got very little to no flex at all in it. So that's really, really good. All in all, really like the finish of this multi-rotor. Looking forward to getting this built and operational. Actually, this guy I should have shown you. That's the camera mount, the FPV camera mount. We won't be using that because we'll go with a different configuration. But look, all in all, the frame looks absolutely superb. I've seen some of the prototypes flying and they do perform quite well. So in the next video, what we'll do is get all the electronics in there and we will have it up and running, and we can run through exactly the gear we've used and get it up in the air and get some flight footage with it. Anyway, thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and I will catch you guys later.